Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks to everyone that watched my previous videos, and if you haven't seen them yet, then feel free to check them out. Today we are continuing with the 118 unboxing and reviews. Today we're stepping it up a little bit. We've got a GT Spirit Koenigsegg CC850, and as you can see, it's quite a nice model. So here is the box that it comes in. It's got quite a few nice viewing angles already, so that's very nice. So if you're someone that likes to display your cars without removing them from the box, then you're all set. You know, you can absolutely see the car through the box. So let's take it out and check out what it is all about. Nice, very professional style look to it. So there you go. This is the CC850 from Koenigsegg. You can see the box comes as standard. It's got this sort of like supporting structure to it just to make sure that the box doesn't get crushed. It's really good for when you're buying from overseas and you're afraid of the shipping and stuff like that. So there you go, it looks like that. You can remove these sort of little brackets at the top, and this one's actually got front ones. The last ones we unboxed, they didn't have the ones at the front, so here we go. So this is the Koenigsegg CC850, and what it is a new Koenigsegg which was released. The original concept, I think, came out in roughly 2022, and it's actually a kind of tribute, a reimagining of the Koenigsegg CC8S, which was one of their original cars from Koenigsegg. So this one is based on the Koenigsegg Jesko as well, so we will check that one in a future video as well, because I do have a Jesko. And then we can do a quick sort of look at them. There you go. Quite a cool looking car, definitely. It's got a really nice sort of contrast and really cool color. Very cool looking car. Sweet. So it comes joined onto this base with 4 screws. I have slightly loosened them off, so it would make removing them quite a lot easier. So let me just remove this. So the CC850 is a tribute to the CC8, the S, as I mentioned before. And what it is also, it was a 20-year tribute to that previous Koenigsegg, and also the founder, Christian von Koenigsegg. It's kind of a car to celebrate his 50th birthday as well. So it's a very cool reimagining. Sorry, I was just adjusting the lighting there for you a little bit. So let's have a look. So straight away, taking it out of the box, you can see it's got a very prominent sort of presence to it, and it's got quite a bit of weight to it actually. These are kind of full resin models. I've got gloves on so you can't really hear the knock, but anyways, well, they're full resin, so the detail on them are really exceptional, and it's really high quality detail work. The only problem with these kind of models is that most usually they don't open at all. And unfortunately, it's the same case with this. So we have no access through the doors, the engine bay, or the boot in the front, which is a real shame, because these Koenigsegg's have those dihedral synchro doors, you know, so they open in a crazy way, and unfortunately we don't see any of that. So let's check it out. I saw this car at Goodwood a few years ago, and in real life it's just absolutely spectacular, so that's why I kind of had to get this model. So let's check some details out, starting with the front. we've got these crazy headlights which have a sort of intake underneath them. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. They've got these crazy headlights with the intake underneath them, so you can see it's actually got a hole underneath, so it's a nice 3D sort of look to it. Then we've got these indicators, which once again, it's almost like a smoked sort of look to it, but they are nicely visible, and you can see even the manufacturing lines, how great they are. I mean, you get tiny imperfections here and there for the price point. These are a little bit more pricey, so they're roughly around £100 or so. Depends where you get them, but you can see, I mean, the details and the quality is really exceptional. So we've got this Koenigsegg logo in the front, and you can even see that it's got the parking sensors, so that is really, really crazy. And then it's got this tow hook in the front, more parking sensors, and then we've got this lip, which is a really cool feature. It's I actually think that this top part is supposed to be silver over here. On the real car, the top of the lip is silver and the bottom is black, and then it kind of twists around. But on this one, it's all black in the front, which is kind of interesting. So I'm not sure if that was something they missed, or if they just wanted to intentionally prefer to do just a full black lip. So carrying on down this section, we come to the front wheels. So as you can see, the front wheels do spin, and they are actually linked. As you can see on the back, they're linked front and rear wheel, which also means that they don't turn at all. So you've got you can't place it at an angle and have them turned. But the overall finish is very nice. It's got this kind of satin sort of look to it. And then the center caps have this black inlay with a chrome. It's really quite a lot of detail, but one thing it is missing is the logo from the center cap, which is kind of a little bit annoying, because it does just help to make the wheel look really, really spectacular. But you can even see it's got an extruded piece there to show where you would pump the wheel up, and then it's got the calipers in the background which say Koenigsegg, and the wheel rotors, but they do not spin with a wheel. So coming down the side, we've got this intake, and now this one, you can see the top is silver and the bottom is black of this side skirt. So that is how it should be. So that makes me think that the front should have been the same, but it is what it is. And then we've got the CC850 logo, and then we've got these cool mirrors which have a really unique shape and stick out quite a lot. They're quite fragile, so you've got to be careful not to break them off when you're handling these sort of models. And you know, it's even got like chrome or mirror sort of finish in the mirrors there. And then we have these massive sort of side intakes. You can see where you open the door as well. And then you've got this side intake, and it's actually got this 3D texture to it, so it's really good that you can actually see it correctly, you know. And then we get to the back wheels, which have the same case as well. So they also rotate at the same time on both sides, you can see, like that. And they are not very freely spinning, so you can see it's kind of difficult to turn them, and exactly the same situation. So the brakes don't move, but we do have the Koenigsegg logo on the brakes, and once again, no Koenigsegg logo in the center. Now coming to the rear side of the car, you can see you've got these three sort of tail lights, which are kind of like a circled off or rounded off sort of square. And the real car, they look very cool because actually the edges of them glow, and you can see they've got a really nice 3D sort of shape to them, so they're proper 3D. And then in the center here, you've also got a Koenigsegg logo, which is actually a 3D logo, so you can feel, when you go along it, you can actually feel that it's an actual texture. So no matter what kind of angle you look at it from, it's always going to look good in photos and things like that. And then you've also got the rear facing camera under the logo, and you've also got the rear parking sensors, and then in the center you've got this crazy massive exhaust, and then you've also got this very cool super gloss black diffuser on the bottom, and then you've also got these lights just above in between the diffuser on both sides as well. So we can quickly check out the underneath. So you can see CC850 Koenigsegg GT Spirit, and then it's also got the number, as of course this car is a limited edition to 2000. And then seeing this rear sort of deck lid, I mean, you can see how nicely the light hits this paint. It's just crazy. You've got this rear spoiler over here, which unfortunately doesn't open once again. So it would be really nice if it did, but unfortunately it's not the case. But you can see the arms where it would open up in real life. And then we've got this air outlet, which also has a grille inside, and actually there's a grille under the wing as well. And then you've got the Ghost Squadron logo, and then you can kind of see a little bit in the interior. So you've got this very cool orange interior with this line running down the center. Now we'll try to get a little bit more light in there. You can see this cutout sort of design, typical of Koenigsegg's, carries on down the center of the roof, and then you can actually get a glimpse of the center console in there. So I'll zoom in for you a little bit, and if I could get the lighting a little bit better, there you go. You can actually see just faintly that it's got a Koenigsegg logo in the center, which is would be on the screen of the car. There you go. And then you've also got the Swedish flag logo on the gear lever, which is crazy attention to detail. And then you've also got these two sort of air outlets on the bonnet. But let's just carry on with the interior. I'll just get a little bit of light in there for you if I can. So you can see how nicely textured the seats are. They've actually got a 3D sort of like stitching to it. And even the backrest just looks absolutely insane. I mean, that's what you really want from a hypercar. And you can actually see the seats are really detailed, you know. It even looks almost like carbon. And then you've got the headrests as well. And of course you can kind of see both sides. And then in the center there, you can see the gear shift. And you can also see the steering wheel and the gauges. So the gauges have all the details that they would have in real life, and even the steering wheel buttons have the logos on them. And then you've also got the Koenigsegg logo in the center of the steering wheel. And you can see the seats there once again. So absolutely amazing attention to detail. Even the air vents have this kind of little gloss section at the back. So it's a real pity that unfortunately we cannot open this model up. It would be really nice to have a good view of this spectacular interior. And then you can also see it's got the wiper, and it's completely centrally placed, so of course it helps with aerodynamics, and it also just looks very cool as well. So yeah, I also finally got a turntable just so I can spin this car around a little bit, and then I can give you guys a pretty nice view from a few different angles. When you want to display it, of course, you can have it under different sort of lighting, so this really helps to kind of just show you the angles and the shapes of this car. You can just see the way that the light is reflecting off all the surfaces. Zoom in a little bit. So the color is kind of this metallic sort of satin finish, and you can see what it does is it really helps to highlight all the different shapes. Like, look at the light falling off the rear, And actually it's kind of pretty reflective, so you can see if I put my glove against it, it's actually a highly reflective sort of surface and paint finish. I mean, you can see it almost looks like silk on this thing, so it's just a really, really epic looking car. I would say if you have space for something like this, or if you're interested in these kind of hypercars, then this would really be one to add to the collection. I mean, it's just got a lot of drama going on. The way that the lines kind of swoop around the car, you can see, you know, this front splitter kind of continuing down the side, and then you've got this massive intake on the side as well. And it's got this overall sort of swooping shape to it. And now with the lighting like this, you can see how crazy the shapes of all the surfaces of this car are. So overall, I'd say the execution of this model is really, really incredible. It's very highly detailed, and I'd say for the price point, which is roughly around £100-ish at the moment, depending where you get it from, I'd definitely say it's worth it. I mean, it is not the newest of releases. This came out last year, around the middle of last year or so. I think it was last year, or it could have actually been a little while ago, but it looks really, really cool. If you can pick one up, I would highly suggest it. As you can see, it's a really, really dramatic sort of piece to add to any kind of collection. I mean, just look at the way the lights hit off this thing. It just looks crazy. The downfall with these resin models is, of course, that they don't really open, and that's a real shame, but it is what it is, you know. But the details are really, really exceptional. I wish the wheels did have those logos, and that's pretty much the only thing that I think the car is missing. But other than that, it's absolutely perfect. So let me know what you guys think and how you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Take it easy, guys. Ciao.